Why should we trust you? Someone once asked Sam Altman. His answer,
You shouldn't.
that one moment summed up the biggest problem of OpenAI. The company shaping our future while hiding some of its darkest secrets. Because the story of OpenAI isn't just about technology. It's about betrayal, billion-dollar power struggles, and a race that could change the world forever. Sam Altman wasn't supposed to be here. He dropped out of Stanford, launched a location app called Looped that barely anyone used, and almost ruined his health in the process. He literally gave himself scurvy because he wasn't eating properly. But then he caught the eye of Paul Graham, the legendary investor behind Y Combinator. Graham once described Sam as the king of cannibals, someone who would do anything to win. And in Silicon Valley, that made him dangerous. By 30, Altman was president of Y Combinator, running the most powerful startup accelerator in the world. But he wanted more. Around the same time, Elon Musk was sounding the alarm. He warned that artificial intelligence could destroy humanity, and the biggest threat was Google. Google had hoarded the best AI researchers on the planet. Its co-founder, Larry Page, dismissed Musk's fears, calling him a speciesist for even worrying about humans at all. Elon knew Google couldn't be the only one in control. So in 2015, he joined forces with Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, and a genius Google researcher named Ilya Sutskever. They had one mission: to stop AI from falling into the hands of just one company. And that dinner meeting in Silicon Valley gave birth to OpenAI. At the start, OpenAI wasn't even supposed to make money. It launched as a non-profit dedicated to protecting humanity. The opposite of Google. They promised transparency. They promised to share their research with the world. They promised to build AI safely. Instead, the company stumbled around with robot projects and video game bots, nothing close to changing the world. But behind the scenes, they weren't just chasing an app. They were chasing something bigger. They wanted to build AGI, artificial general intelligence. Not just a chatbot, not just a program, but something like a digital god. And when their first big breakthrough finally came, those promises of openness started to disappear. In 2017, Google researchers unveiled a new AI system called the Transformer model. It was the blueprint for everything that came next. Google moved cautiously. OpenAI did the opposite. They built GPT, a system trained on massive amounts of internet data. It wasn't perfect, but it felt general. For the first time, it seemed like AI could think. The world freaked out. And when GPT-2 came along, OpenAI hyped it as too dangerous to release. Suddenly, the open in OpenAI was gone. The secrecy had begun, and then came the betrayal that would change everything. Elon Musk clashed with Altman and the board. He wanted control of OpenAI, they said no. In 2018, Elon walked away, pulling his promised $1 billion with him. That left OpenAI desperate. To survive, they flipped their nonprofit into a for-profit company. The mission to protect humanity replaced with a deal from one of the biggest corporations on earth, Microsoft. The company created to stop big tech had just joined it. And that's where the real chaos began. Because the moment OpenAI partnered with Microsoft, the fuse was lit on the biggest tech explosion in history. When OpenAI partnered with Microsoft, nobody could predict what was coming next. Because in November 2022, they quietly launched a tool called chatgpt. No marketing, no big announcement, just a link on their website. Inside the company, employees bet it might get 100,000 users in the first week. Instead, it got 100 million in 2 months. The fastest growing app in human history. Suddenly, OpenAI was no longer just a research lab. It was a global phenomenon. ChatGPT could write essays, answer questions, and even generate code. It wasn't perfect, but it felt alive. Schools panicked. Google panicked. Even OpenAI employees couldn't believe what they had built. And when Microsoft saw the numbers, they doubled down with a $10 billion investment. The AI arms race had begun.